Good evening, Mr. and Mrs. Warrior fan. Welcome to Moundridge, Kansas. This is the Central National Bank pregame show as we get ready for the very first Marion High School Warrior football game of the 2014 season. We are obviously, as I said, on the road in Moundridge. This is Mike Powers here with Roger Schroeder. Good evening, Roger.
Good evening, Mike. It's chilly.
Yeah, who would have thunk it? I was thinking about that. Gene will remember this, and Jay might as well, and the number of times that we've been on the road, in September, and over 100 degrees, worrying about kids passing out, worrying about ourselves passing out. I don't know what the temperature is. I think it's somewhere in the mid-30s.
Feels like it. After it was 90-some yesterday, I'll believe you.
Yeah. The difference between yesterday's high and today's high is a lot of degrees. Well, enough about that. It's great weather to play football, and we seem to have done pretty well dodging the raindrops. We hope to get through the night without any rain. Our crew consists of myself and Roger. Gene Winkler is our producer-director. Jay Smith is, of course, the cameraman that is up here with us. He braves the heights. Danny Maddox has got the tight shots down below because Danny won't get up here with us. Jay won't let him come up here, actually. So that's the crew for tonight. I'm going to start. It is Central National Bank pregame show, and Roger, I'll let you talk about the football game, but I want to start by just a little bit of a acknowledgement, I guess. Casey Case is not here. Most of the people that watch this are aware that yesterday there was a very bad traffic accident, and one lady was killed, and Casey's mom was seriously injured. The good news is that Jean Case, his mom, who the Booster Club named as the Warrior super fan, I guess, fan of the year at the athletic banquet last spring. She's going to be okay. She's got several broken bones. She's beat up and hurting and in the hospital still. But we are thinking of Eugene, and we're thinking of the family of Joyce Smith. And so for those folks, we miss you. And with that, we'll get back to the football game. And Roger, your thoughts on the young season?
Well, I think a young season is a good way to put it because we've got a young group. There are some returning veterans, some returning starters that are very, very good players, but a lot of young Warriors are going to see the field tonight for the first time. And young teams, it's always good to get out of the gate and, let them make a couple mistakes, get it out of their way, and just let them get into kind of the flow of the game. And I think that's what Coach Tieroff and the rest of the staff is going to try to do tonight.
Thought it was interesting in one of the publications recently I read that Grant quoted as saying that last year's senior-laden squad that, of course, had a great season, went into the playoffs, and just had a great football season. He said they were ready to play games 2 weeks before the season started. And then he said he thought this team might be ready to play games 2-3 weeks after the season starts.
And that class last year, it wasn't just a good football class. It was a good class in every athletic season, in the classroom, out of the classroom. It was just a remarkable class, and it's not taking anything away from this group or the group behind them or behind them. But, when you lose that much leadership and kids that saw time on the field for a number of years, there's going to be, a period of getting these young kids in and getting them kind of into the game and into the flow of things.
The good news is that this freshman class is a class that has been about as heralded as anything since, the class that went to the state championship game. So that's the good news is I'm not saying this group is that good, but there's a lot of good talent on
there's some potential, and it's going to start with a freshman playing quarterback tonight, and Jack Schneider. I haven't seen him play yet, obviously, first game of the season, but heard great things coming out of their preseason camp about him. It started last year even with him as an 8th grader running rampant on the middle school teams.
Yes.
And so, I'm excited to see him play. I'm excited to see how he kind of commands the offense, but you've always got your veteran guys, and you're going to have Kyle Palak up front. You're going to have Adam Jansen sitting right behind you. So, there is pressure on him, I'm sure, as a freshman stepping in and starting quarterback of the varsity team. But he's got veteran guys around him, both behind him and in front of him, that I think can take some of the weight off of his shoulders and help him.
The upperclassmen on this squad are Jacob Baldwin. Jacob's a senior. I'm just going to go seniors at this point in time, seniors and juniors. Jacob is he'll be the backup quarterback. He's a veteran. He could easily step in that quarterback role. He's also going to play a defensive end. Seth Snelling, a wide receiver, defensive back. Tyler Neufeld is a senior running back linebacker. Adam Jansen was mentioned, running back linebacker. Nathan Sear, Big Nathan's an offensive and defensive lineman. Kyle Palick, the offensive line and linebacker. Braden Fahey at offensive line and defensive line. Then those are people that had a lot of playing time in the past. You've also got William Adami, Adam Shalene, Dylan Carpenter, Brad Stone, Remington Putter, who are also juniors and seniors, but that will definitely have some impact on the games and the season. Here's the thing. I just named 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 kids. That's your juniors and seniors. Yep. There's 42 on the squad, 42 kids. So you got a lot of young players.
A lot of young kids, and like we said earlier, they're going to see the field tonight, and it's out of necessity, but they're talented enough to step in. There is going to be a learning curve, as there is in basically any sport as a young player. But I think this group is ready to step up, and there's enough veteran leadership there, I think, that can make the transition easy.
Well, as we continue and go into the latter part of the Central National pregame show, we don't have Casey Case, as we mentioned, and Casey, we miss you. But let's talk about Moundridge. This is a squad that returns 5 starters on offense, 5 starters on defense. In the past, they've run a wing T offense, but Coach Tiroff expects that they might try to use some of the spread offense this year. I guess you could see them shifting in and out of that. They got good speed. Their best player is number 20. That's Deshaun Fife. He's a 5'10", 180-pound senior and good speed, and he'll be someone we'll have to watch. They look for cutback lanes on their running game, and they've got a young offensive line. Grant thinks they're going to be good eventually, but they're kind of like our kids. They're young, although they're very big.
Yes, that's a good-sized offensive line. You can see they're 270, 265, 260, and that's just on the left side and the center. So, I mean, my hunch would be maybe they're going to go left a little bit.
It might be. Well, we thank you for joining us. And, Roger, any last thoughts before we get ready for some football?
No, excited to kick off the season, and hopefully we can stay dry tonight and see a Warrior victory and head back to Marion.
So we thank our pregame sponsor, and we'll be right back with the opening kickoff. We are back and ready to get this ball game started. You see the captains meeting on the field. The captains for the Warriors are number 3, that's Jacob Baldwin. Number 33 is Tyler Neufeld. 55, Kyle Palick. And 64, Dylan Carpenter. So for the upperclassmen out there, for the seniors as captains. And I didn't see who won the kick. I saw we'll be receiving.
Moundridge won the toss and deferred.
Deferred, okay. The first quarter of this game is brought to you by Eagle Communications, Prairie Land Partners, and Marion National Bank. Roger, seriously, I mentioned this earlier. You could not, if you as a player, you couldn't have a better night to play
this
football.
is perfect.
Yeah, it's going to be very comfortable for the kids.
Yeah, the alternative is, 90 degrees, humidity. They're taking water break timeouts because they have to. The officials are calling them tonight. I don't think we're going to see much cramping. Maybe a little tired legs, but I don't think we're going to see any cramping fits like we normally do.
Several years ago, we had a game and started the season at Minneapolis, Kansas, and no, it was actually Minneapolis, Minnesota. But yeah, Minneapolis. I don't know why I threw the Kansas in there, but anyway.
My wife does the same thing. She says, down in Hillsboro, Kansas. Like, yes, I know where Hillsboro is. It's right down the road.
Well, good. I'm glad she does it too. I have a compatriot. But in any event, it was just one of those. It was over 100 degrees at kickoff, and I don't know how many times they stopped for water breaks because the officials just did it anytime I think they thought they needed one.
Yeah, so. Absolutely. There was a high school game on ESPN last weekend or something down in Alabama, and it was the same thing. Every couple minutes they're blowing the whistle and bringing the trainers out.
Well, here comes the kick. Everybody's lined up and ready. Snelling deep for the Warriors. Pretty good end-over-end kick. That's going to go into the end zone, be a touchback. So no return, and there is a pretty good, we ought to mention that. You see the leaves there on the trees, but there's a pretty good north breeze here. Oh, there you go, a shot of the flag. Kind of shows you what Moundridge is going to have at their back here in this first quarter. Number 4, Jack Snyder, the freshman, in at quarterback. We're having a little trouble here. The ball must have gotten, I don't know, wet or something.
Wet, or maybe each team has a game ball. Maybe they got them flip-flop.
That could be. There's a shift. Snelling back to the tailback position. Snyder keeps. And he's not going to gain much, but I kind of like that, Roger. We talked about this on the way up. You know, it's his first varsity experience. He needs to take a hit. I guess let's get it over with.
Yeah. Yeah, you couldn't even really tell the mesh point there was kind of blown up by the Moundridge defensive line. I don't know if Jansen had it or the young quarterback had it, but either way, it was a
I may have missed. So I thought Snyder kept it, but perhaps not. There's no gain. 2nd and 10. Snyder definitely kept that one. And he may get a yard. Gang tackling by the Wildcats. Snyder, although a freshman, is not a small kid. He's 6 foot. He's only 155. Give him a couple of years and 20 more pounds, and he'll be quite the specimen.
I think that frame will, kid's probably 14, 15 years old right now. I mean, he's going to fill out. Matter of how much. Hopefully he can stay in the quarterback position.
Warrior shift again. Snyder's going to pass. That's to Baldwin. Nice gain. He's going to be short, I think, of the first down.
Just short. Their little tight end pop pass type thing off the play action fake. Defense was right on his back.
Scoreboard says 4th and 1. It's about 4th and 1 inch, but here with the wind in your face early in the game, you don't want to give up the possibility of field position, so the Warriors will punt. Adam Jansen back to punt for the Warriors. Good snap. Jansen's going to keep. It's a fake. Oh, he fights. I don't know if he got
it. I think he got pushed out short. The coaching staff on the other side of the field is celebrating, and so are the fans.
So it doesn't really matter. We'll see where they spot it. He got close. Doesn't matter. He didn't get enough. So
almost looked like he lost a yard or two. They pushed him, did a good job funneling him to the sideline, using kind of that 12th defender over there.
Right. And I think you're right. He lost a couple of yards, Roger, on that, but he had nowhere to go when he got outside. So the Warriors defense will have to be tested real early here. The ball on the 27-yard line. One man split out wide right for the Wildcats. And up over the right side, running back hurdles a couple of people, but a nice flow to the ball by the defense.
Very good job. Both defenses, obviously just one play for the Warriors, but on the previous drive, Moundridge defense really flying to the football. It's not just one guy bringing down the ball carrier. You got 6, 7 hats around the ball. I'm sure both coaches are happy with the starts on defense so far.
Snelling and a bunch of his buddies in on that tackle for the Warriors. 3-yard gain, 2nd and 7 now. Got 2 slot backs, a tailback, and the receiver split out on the right side. Hand off to the tailback, and he's hitting the backfield.
Big Nathan Sear there getting a lot of penetration and making the stop.
There's a good replay. We've got, tell you what, we've got the dream team going right now. We got Jay Smith that's getting you all the action from the wide angle here so that you don't miss anything. And then we got Danny Maddox dialed in tight. And Gene's just playing a replay of whatever Gene feels like playing.
We're going to get a good shot, and Gene's going to hit a button, and it's going to come on. It's going to be great.
So with the loss, that makes it 3rd and 8. Hand off, and again hitting the backfield. That's Jacob Baldwin. Second man in is Peyton Heidebrick.
Great stand there by the Warrior defense. Get the ball inside the 30-yard line, and you manage to hold him there and look at a 4th and long situation here for the Wildcats.
Yeah, 4th and 11, and ball pushed back now. Well, wait a minute. Ball on 25. They said ball on 27 when the drive started. That must have been a mistake.
Interesting spotting.
Yeah, somehow. It is 4th and 11. They are out, spread out. That's good pressure coming in from the Warriors. They need to bring him down, and they do. Dylan Carpenter with some pressure from the right side. We'll get a replay here and see who else was in on that. I think that was Baldwin and Carpenter. And
great job there by number 3, Jacob Baldwin, not letting the quarterback break contain. He kind of funneled the play back into his buddies, and we had good pursuit and take him down on 4th and long, turn the ball over.
Dylan Carpenter at 5'11", 158. Does not look like he ought to be playing the position he's playing, but he brought some speed to the game there. So Warrior 1st and 10 on the 34 now. Hand off to the fullback Jansen, and he breaks through the initial tackles, breaks through a couple more. Nice run by Jansen.
Good carry there on 1st down, and you're going to give yourself another 1st down. Fresh set, moving towards midfield. Good positive play for the Warriors.
Ball out to the 44 on the Warriors side. Again, as we said before, moving into a pretty stiff breeze. Got a fullback and a tailback behind Snyder. Tailback gets the carry this time. Nice moves, free up the middle of the field. That's number 7, Seth Snelling. It's a foot race. Snelling drugged down inside the 5, and I think there's going to be a horse collar call on that, which will give the Warriors another yard or so.
That far down the field, it's not going to be a hold or anything like that. You're thinking a horse collar or a face mask maybe right at the end of the play.
See if we can see anything here. You're no longer allowed. You can't grab them by the back of the shoulder pads. Yeah, I don't know. I think that's a cheap call.
I'm not sure. I mean, obviously we want the calls to go our way.
Yeah, I'll take it if it's ours.
I don't know that we quite deserve that one. I haven't seen a call yet from the head official.
Oh, did they call a face mask? Personal foul, face mask.
So they're going to offset.
Oh, wow. My goodness.
You know, I only saw the one flag, and that was right down near the tackle.
Yeah.
I have a hard time believing that anybody's going to be holding when the guy's down at the 1-yard line. The face mask was kind of what we thought.
Yeah.
The hold was a surprise, and we're just going to act like that didn't happen, I guess.
That's exactly what we're going to do. It's offsetting penalties, and so, you know, you see that from time to time. Offsetting penalties is supposed to mean, well, you both had a penalty, so neither one benefits. But, in fact, pretty clearly, Moundridge benefits.
The defense definitely benefits from this offsetting, yes.
That'll make it 1st and 10 again from the Warrior 44. Like what I'm seeing so far from this young squad. Long way to go. Ball's on the ground. Looks like the Warriors recovered.
Jansen got out of the bottom of the pile with that.
Yeah. This is an excuse. People say don't give me any excuses, but I'm here to tell you right now that's all you're getting out of me is excuses. But when we're at home in the press box, we have such a great view of the field. And the crew for the school district, they mark the yard lines. We got all that. Here, we can't see as well. We don't have the yard lines
We've
marked.
got 5-yard guesses is what we have.
So most of our mistakes are not our fault. There's a Snelling coming around this side. Oh, Snelling drugged down. The way he went down, I thought might have been a face mask there. But I don't think so. Yep. They got him by the shirt. 3rd and 10, still from the 44. Snelling at tailback, Jansen at fullback. Snyder keeps, throws it over the middle. That's, oh boy. Yeah, there's a penalty. That was intended for number 20, Brad Stone, and they just knocked him off his feet as he was in the pass pattern.
You know, the ball, I thought, as it came out of Jack Snyder's hand, I thought it was a little overthrown, and then I looked down and see one of our receivers laying on the field, and, well, that's the reason.
Had he kept running, been allowed to keep running, he might have made that close. So that'll give the Warriors a 15-yard penalty. That'll give them a 1st down. The ball will be on the 41-yard line of the Wildcats. The Moundridge field, we talked a little bit about, the grass looks great. I mean, it looks really plush out there. What they don't have is they don't have the markings on it.
On each individual yard line.
Yeah, which are, we've just come to really appreciate that in Marion. We're spoiled. Snyder keeps. No, I bought the fake. He handed off to Snelling. Snelling's like a pinball machine out there bouncing around.
We had a name for him last year while he played defense, and I can't think of what it was because he'd come flying in, make plays out of nowhere. And
yeah, was it Casey called him the Rocket?
The Rocket or the Torpedo or something
like that. What was it, Jay? Torpedo. Okay. Torpedo's not bad. That works for a running back too.
Yeah. Got through the hole like a speeding torpedo.
Speeding torpedo. Second 11 from the 42. Loss of 1 on the play. Snyder wants to pass, gets it away. Pass is hauled in. There'll be a nice gain on the play. It'll be a 3rd down and about 5.
Good catch there. Mason Peterson going up and getting the ball.
You know, Roger, before the season starts, we don't, really have the ability. We don't have a depth chart or anything like that to go by. So I always try to kind of mark the names I think I'll see. And usually I can get kind of sort of close. Already in this game, there have been 4 or 5 names we've called of players contributing that I don't have highlighted.
Yeah. I mean, there's 2 freshmen on the field right now, and that's just at the skill positions. So I don't know exactly what the line looks like.
Oh, nice job. Snyder gets it away. That's a 1st down for the Warriors. When we see that replay, watch. I think he fumbled the ball just a little bit, but he kept his cool. If we can see, where is he?
Right behind the marker.
He was right behind the down marker. Good camera work, Danny.
And Jacob Baldwin on the receiving end of that catch. Very good job on his part.
Brings the ball down to the 27 of Moundridge. Nice drive going down to 4 minutes and 15 seconds to go in this first quarter. This is all against the wind. Snyder keeps. Oh, he cuts in, back outside. Now he's turned the corner. Snyder down the sideline. Oh, they're going to call him out on the 3.
He made the lunge to the pylon, but I think he got drug out of bounds there just short.
He did the NFL ball in one hand, hit the pylon.
Coaches cringe when they see that.
Absolutely.
Until the arms go up.
Lots of bad things can happen when you stick that ball out there, but you know what? If you run like that, you're forgiven a lot of things.
You can't fault the effort. That was a very good job trying to get there.
All right, Warriors 1st and goal from the 3-yard line. Snyder in the pistol. Hand off to Jansen. He's in the zone. That's a Casenson touchdown. Adam Jansen.
Good read there by the young freshman quarterback to give it to his big hoss and let him get his way in the end zone.
So the Warriors go up 6-0 with 3:58 to go first quarter. And, I'm looking around, guys. I'm liking what I'm seeing in the sky. I'm not seeing anything that looks like imminent rain.
I see blue sky behind us.
Blue sky. I'm liking what I see on the field. I'm liking about everything except the people I'm here with. Warriors going to go for 2 here. Snyder keeps, rolls out this way, looking in the end zone. Oh, yes! It bounced off the defender and right into the hands of Corbin Wheeler.
I'm not sure that's how they drew it up, but that's the way it worked out.
So we've got an 8-0 Warrior lead, and that was, that was interesting.
Freshman to freshman there to convert the 2-point try and cap off the first touchdown drive of the year for the Warriors.
Well, and that's, I like that you point that out. You've got Corbin Wheeler receiving from Jack Snyder. Am I right on that? I hope to get,
Yep.
I hate to get the kid's name wrong. Great shot of the Warrior crowd. And, earlier I had mentioned to you, Roger, or I guess I was talking to Jay over here, that there wasn't much of a crowd, but they must have all been hiding.
They were waiting in their cars. They were smart.
All of a sudden, boom, we got a full stands here. Well, that was fun.
Yeah, we might start to get used to calling those two names here in the next couple years.
That'd be all right.
As those two grow up and really mature and fill out, put on some weight, they might be some big-time players for us here. They're going to be big-time players this year, but down the road, even bigger.
I would enjoy that. One more time, let me mention our first quarter sponsors: Eagle Communications, Prairie Land Partners, Marion National Bank. Here's Peyton Heidebreck with the kickoff for the Warriors. On the ground, man just falls on it right there. It'll be on the 40 or 38-yard line. That'll be 1st and 10 for the Wildcats. I hate to be so ignorant, but just the way I am. We did not go for the extra point kick. We're kicking squib kicks on the, so I'm assuming we probably don't have the big leg to.
That's the hunch. You know, last year we had senior Griff Case with the square shoe, and boy, could he really whack it on the kickoffs, especially, and extra points were almost a given. This year doesn't look like that's going to quite be the case.
So Moundridge trying to make something happen. Again, the Warriors are in that backfield, and they bring him down. Another loss. That, I think, was number 55, Kyle Palak.
I can't believe there's 3:47 left in the game. That's the first time we've said Kyle Palak's name today.
Well, that's a good point. That's a good point. But, you know, maybe it's because his buddies just haven't given him an opportunity.
That's true.
Yeah, Palak, one of the really fine players on this squad, one of the senior leaders. Lots of about 1.5 yards. We'll call it 2nd and 12. Quarterback wants to pass, gets it away. Pass is hauled in. Tackle out there by number 20, Brad Stone, and that will be a 1st down.
Good play action pass there by the Moundridge Wildcats. Quarterback did a good job hiding the ball there on his hip. Delivers a good ball downfield. Very good.
I'll move it out to the 45-yard line. That would be the Warrior 45. Oh, the ball's on the ground. Oh, what a play! Give me a number. Oh, Gene, just as I about had the number, he went to the replay.
Is that Adam Shalene, number 60?
I think it is.
It is.
Adam Shalene, boy, that is how you draw it up. You don't just sack them. You sack them, strip the ball, and recover the fumble.
it. Wow.
That's like an unassisted triple play. Warriors take over on the Moundridge side of the 50, 47-yard line. Jansen with the carry, and he's going to maybe lose a yard. They had him in the backfield.
Bryce Schultz checking in, giving the play to young quarterback Jack Schneider.
Bryce, a sophomore. Mason Peterson, also a sophomore. They're doing some rotation there with those plays. Warriors with the shift. Jansen again with the carry. Nice run.
Good positive run there to get it into kind of a 3rd and medium, give you a chance to pick up the 1st down here and keep the drive going.
We're going to have 3rd and just about 5 to go. And I don't know, Roger. The way the Warriors have dominated on defense, I might, if I don't get it here, I may just go for it.
Well, I think as you get into plus territory a little bit, your mindset changes, and obviously we're not kicking field goals into the wind, and the fact that we may not have the kicker to do it.
Right.
So I think you get, even if you only pick up a couple here, you consider it. That will change things.
That was Snelling with the carry, and boy, there was just nothing. That play was never there. And I think, Roger, that's to be expected too when you've got so many young players at so many positions. I was listening to a pro talk on the radio the other day, and a former pro, and he was talking about that with rookies in the NFL. They can be fantastic, but they're not generally consistent.
No. And from play to play, you get a different result, and it's just getting the feel for it, getting in the action.
You would have to assume that if that's the case in the NFL, it would be true at the high school level and then some. There's the kick. And Moundridge stays away from it, takes a really nice Warrior roll.
Good bounce inside the 20. Good job making the most out of the wind in your face, getting a good punt off and getting a positive Warrior roll.
About a minute to go in this quarter. The quarter's really flown along here.
It sure has. Not many stoppages. We've only had well, we had 2 flags on one play. That's the only stop.
Only had 2 penalties, but they happened on the same play. So.
That speeds things up.
Very efficient officiating crew. Well, Uncle Gene bought us a pizza from the concession stand before the game. I think it had some sawdust in it. It was not the best pizza I'd ever had, but it was better than the nothing we had before then.
It's starting to fight back on me a little bit, I think.
Hand off to the tailback, and he's just pounded under. He got to the line of scrimmage. Well, yeah, he actually gained a little, but it wasn't much.
Not
under
much.
A yard gain.
I'd look from an offensive standpoint here for them maybe to take a shot. You've got, obviously you're deep in your own territory, but you've got the wind at your back, at least for another play. I'd like to see them go to the air here, and I hope the Warrior defense is expecting it and ready for it.
Roger, I think that's a good idea. The only real offensive success they've had so far has been through the air.
Absolutely.
And so why not take a shot out here? They've only got 1 man out on the right side. He's going up against Baldwin. Against Stone. Pump fake, ball away. It's pulled in. Yeah. Late hit there. It wasn't anything egregious. Stone was just taking him out, but
he knows it. He was headed off the field, I think, before the sub was even coming in for him.
Peterson comes in.
That was almost identical to the last big positive play that Moundridge had.
Yes.
Little play action pass, roll the quarterback to his arm side and let him, athletic kid. He doesn't mind throwing on the run, obviously. So.
Yep.
And that's a big gainer for them, and they're going to have an opportunity to run another play with the wind helping them.
Yeah, that stops the clock with, I can't tell if that's a 15 or a 16, but it's not going to make much difference. Let's call it 16 seconds left to go in the half, and so they'll definitely have at least one more play here. I said the half, the quarter. Quarterback under center, puts the man in motion. He wants to throw again. And again, lots of pressure. They can't corral him. He's going to make a nice gain out of it.
Oh, there was a comeback block there. I don't know who it was, but my goodness.
Roger, I don't think there's any way that they are going to be able to be successful dropping back and setting up. The quarterback's going to have to throw on the run at all times, and obviously we didn't get that shot.
They've got to keep him moving. I don't think there's any way he can just drop straight back. They've got to roll him. Obviously, he's shown he's good throwing to his arm side. That time they rolled him away from that side of the field. We'll see. I mean,
we didn't throw it, so we don't know if he throws as well, but he ran it. So.
And here's a new quarterback in the game.
And we have 5 seconds to go. This will be the last play of the first quarter. Now, this is a straight drop back. Warriors are rushing again. He gets it away. That's all thrown with the arm. And now, Seth had too much time. I think Stilling saw that coming too long.
His eyes were lit up for way too long. Something just to conclude that first quarter.
Yeah, this is our quarterly report, so take away, Casey.
Just from a Moundridge offensive perspective, they haven't had much success running the ball. They've had maybe 1 or 2 positive plays. The success they've had is rolling the quarterback number 2, the Kyle Stokey.
Right.
He's been rolling to his right, throwing well on the run, and they've been running that out of that wing T kind of wishbone set. And then 2 plays they've run, they've brought in number 7, Odie, and they've spread it out into kind of a Steve Spurrier old Florida Gator fun and gun, but they haven't had any success with that. I don't think he's as mobile as a Stookie kid. I think they need to stick to their bread and butter and keep him on the move and let him roll and throw.
I'm going to assume that Odie must have, and this is the St. Luke Hospital quarterly report, I'm going to assume Odie just has the bigger arm, and they just wanted to go as deep as they could go with the wind at their back.
That was the way, I kind of looked at it. There was a receiver way downfield. He was well covered, but that looks like kind of what they're trying to do. Drop him straight back, heave it down the field if you've got that one-on-one coverage and take your chances.
Yep. Well, let's take a moment here before we get to our second quarter. We'd ask you to please pay close attention as you hear these words from some of our sponsors.
Central National Bank, a family and employee-owned company, has been providing Kansans with sound financial advice since 1884. They are dedicated to providing the quality service that makes our customers and the communities they serve successful. In the 21st century, Central National embraces its strong heritage and strives to be the financial resource of choice for the Marion community. A highlight of 2012 was the introduction of the Friend Referral Program. By referring friends to the bank, customers can earn up to $25 per referral. Prairieland Partners Incorporated is a John Deere agricultural equipment dealership specializing in large ag, turf, and integrated solution products. Prairieland has 9 stores in south central Kansas and more than 250 employees. Prairieland maintained a strong business position and has completed a total store remodel in its Winfield location. Continued growth, we will be adding Honda products to our offerings. Also, an expansion of the Marion location is planned. Marion National Bank offers full-service banking. They offer loans for any worthwhile purpose, including agriculture, commercial, consumer, and all types of real estate, including home loans. For the investor, we offer certificates of deposit, individual retirement accounts, and savings accounts. Personal and business checking accounts are available for your daily needs. A Visa check card can be used with all personal transaction accounts. There's an ATM in our entryway for your after-hour cash needs. St. Luke Hospital, providing state-of-the-art healthcare services to meet all your needs. St. Luke was recently remodeled in 2012 to include a new physical therapy area, a new patient care area, as well as a beautiful new entrance. It also has a current CT scanner to provide your scanning needs. St. Luke Hospital, right here at home, right here for you.
We want to thank all of our fine sponsors, and we'll be showing you some messages throughout the course of the game. And we are ready to begin the second quarter now. We want to thank Casey for that quarterly report. I think it was one of his best.
Yeah, you know, I try to fill in when we're missing a key part to our crew.
All right. 3rd and about a foot for Moundridge. Ball on the Warrior 41. Oh, ball's on the ground. I think the Warriors have that fumble.
Yes, they do. There it goes.
There we go. We got the call. So the defense holds.
Cade Harms came out of the bottom of the pile on that one. Big number 63.
Another one of those younger players that I figured Cade might be a player for us at some point. Didn't know if he'd be doing it as a sophomore. Didn't mark him. That was my bad.
It won't be the first one. Sorry.
No,
Mike.
it will not. Well, I already know it's not the first one. 1st and 10 Warriors now from the 43. Snyder keeps. He's going to get up to about the 45.
It's the first one. It won't be the last one.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, you go.
I had to clarify. I had to get a play in to.
Tell you what, you have a way with words. Our second quarter sponsors are Marion Pharmacy, Triple R Hauling, and Shelter Insurance. Oh, did we have a timeout? No. Gene put up the timeout sponsor. He discombobulated me. Tampa State sponsors our discombobulation of the announcers. All right.
That doesn't take much either.
No, it doesn't. 2nd and a short 8. Oh, my. Handoff to Jansen, and he has stood up in the backfield.
Wow. Good penetration there by the Moundridge defensive line.
That was number 77 for Moundridge coming in, and that's Caleb Fry. He's just a sophomore, but the scouting report indicates that their coach says, well, here we have a Tampa State Bank timeout. Their coach says that although he's just a sophomore and has a lot to learn, their coach thinks that by the time he graduates, let me get the quote right here. He will be the best offensive lineman that the Moundridge coach has had the opportunity to coach. That's what his coach is predicting. So
As a sophomore, you know, he's a big kid. He's shown flashes already tonight. I see where that coach is thinking.
Now, obviously, he was not playing offensive line on that play. But
no.
If at a small school, if you're the best offensive lineman that a coach has had the chance to coach, you're probably going to be okay on defense.
More than likely, you're going to be one of the better defensive linemen, too.
It'll be 3rd down and 10. And Gene is putting up the touchdown sponsor because he says he forgot to put it up when we had the touchdown. Actually, Gene, you did put it up. So you thought you were wrong, but you weren't wrong. You were right. Yeah.
I thought he was just calling this next play.
Okay, here we go. We're going to 3rd and 10, but Gene's going all the way. Snyder wants to pass. He gets it away. That's out there, and it's pulled in. Oh, my goodness. Mason Peterson. And if he had gone all the way, I would have called Gene a genius.
Good play action fake there from Jack Schneider. And Mason Peterson had a step on the DB. Did a good job there getting behind the last level of the defense for a big gain. Get him down inside the red zone.
Well, you know, Mason's another one of these sophomores. I think the fact that he out there like that wide open, it's going to be awful easy to freak out and drop that ball. The fact he hauled that in is pretty impressive.
Absolutely.
All right, Warriors down to the 20-yard line of the Wildcats. 1st and 10. And off to Snelling. Right at the middle of the field. Oh, Snelling brought down hard, but he's right on the goal line.
Got a flag back here. Looks like it could be in the holding area.
Yeah.
Block in the back.
Well, that'll bring back that great play, and Warriors have shot themselves in the foot a couple of times here. They have an 8-0 lead.
But yeah, 2 big penalties down on big gains down near the goal line. But, you know, first game of the season, you kind of expect that in a way.
You do.
It's obviously a coaching staff's going to tell you it's still not acceptable, but you anticipate it a little bit.
Yeah, no way the coach is going to tell you in the game film, oh, never mind.
Yeah.
But the fact that we've had, with this many young players, the few penalties we've had, I'm impressed.
Yes.
Well, that's a handoff to Jansen into the line. Not much there.
You know, I don't know that this Moundridge defense is going to let Adam do a whole lot. They seem to be kind of clogging the middle up. He had a nice run in the first quarter, but you know, I think they're gonna make some of the younger players, both the quarterback Snyder under center and some of the guys out on the wings. I think they're going to make them make the plays. If they continue to do what they've done early in this game, then it will open up big Adam Jansen for later in the game.
Snelling back at the tailback behind Jansen now. It's Peterson out on the right side of the formation. Handoff to Snelling. Snelling stays on his feet. Makes a nice run out of what wasn't much.
Good hard run there. Feet never stopped moving, driving for everything that he could. Get into about a 3rd and 6 or 7?
Yeah, I'd say about that. It's kind of hard to tell from this angle. They're calling it 3rd and 7 on the scoreboard. Ball's on the 16-yard line, so I would think that Warriors are probably in 4-down territory no matter what here.
Yep.
Three receivers, 2 right, 1 left. Snyder pitches. That's back to Snelling. That's well defended.
Wow.
Snelling may get a yard on that.
I think they're going backwards.
I'm sorry, I was looking at the wrong yard line. Yeah, they went backwards quite a bit. 4th and 9. Well, no reason not to go for it. Worst case scenario, you give them the length of the field to go to do anything to you, and they'll be going against the wind now.
Jacob Baldwin split to the top of the screen. Maybe look to get him a pass. And
yeah, Snyder did not have a chance to get that one away. He went down hard and fast.
Yep. Good penetration there from the Moundridge defensive line to force the turnover on downs.
So far, I've liked, though, the composure I'm seeing out of the young quarterback.
I have as well.
Yeah.
I think his decision-making has been very good.
It has.
He's put a couple balls right on the money. That one, obviously he's getting hit while he throws.
Right.
That's a throw that maybe, as we talked about, as he gets a little stronger, he stands in the pocket. Maybe he can shake that guy off, reset, and deliver the ball.
So the ball now on the 19-yard line will be 1st and 10 Moundridge, headed the opposite direction. Down to just over 8 minutes to play in the half. Handoff goes over the left side. Not much of a gain.
Kyle Palick and another defensive lineman there on the stop. I couldn't see who that was.
We're going to give him a yard, 2nd and 9. As the crowds have all settled in, we have good crowds on both the Marion and Moundridge side. Great night for a high school football game, and a pretty darn good game here. 8-0, Warrior lead. Moundridge pass, that was behind the man, and again, there was pressure out there, and that was number 83.
I think it was 63.
63.
Cade Harms.
Yeah, Cade Harms in with applying the pressure and forced the quarterback to throw fast, and he was high and wide.
Yeah, that was a quick drop and a hitch by the receiver, and even that didn't have time to get it off with Cade draped all over him.
That probably was the thing that worried me the most, Roger, as we went into this season. Was I've been thinking, how are we going to replace the defensive lineman? And,
yeah, you lose a guy like Morgan Wheeler last year, who was just a menace on both lines of scrimmage, offensively and defensively. But so far, so good for the Warriors.
Wheeler and Myers, and I mean, we lost some good offensive linemen.
Get a procedure penalty here on Moundridge. Push him back and make it a third and long into a third and a little longer.
Yeah, 3rd and 14 now. Wish I'd have worn my boots. I never would have thought that I'd have regretted wearing my tennis shoes. These aluminum planks that we're standing on are cold.
They're not warm. Gene, can you get us some heated
floors? Yeah, we want heated floors. Quarterback under pressure. He's got some running room around the left side. Warriors drag him down. He's going to be short of the first down, but a nice gain on that play.
Well, it looks like a little bit of a broken play. It looked like he wanted to roll to the left and throw, and he kind of cut it back immediately and then just headed upfield.
He had pressure in the backfield there before he had a chance really to make anything happen. 4th and 4, and Moundridge is in punting formation. Sneth Selling, or how about Seth Snelling deep for the Warriors. Oh, high snap. Pulled down. We're gonna Snelling waited until the last minute, scooped that thing up, and my first thought was, well, okay, I have no problem with that, but you're not going to get a yard out of it. But on the, we'll watch it right here. But I think as a face mask, it's going to get the Warriors a nice gain.
Face mask or a horse collar of some kind they're going to get him for, so that decision to pick it up and not gain anything is going to gain him an additional 15, it looks like.
Personal foul, face mask. So they'll march it off. So they mark off 15. The Warriors have great starting field position on the Moundridge side of the 50.
I'd like to see him take a shot here. You got the wind helping you. Your young quarterback has shown that he can deliver the ball downfield on the money. I like a little play action pass here and try to hit one of our good receivers. Got Baldwin split high to the top of the screen. He's a nice big target for him.
6:39 to go in this half. That's a pitch outside. That's going to get drugged down. There may be a loss on that play.
Corbin Wheeler on the receiving end of that. Looked like they just tried to throw a little bubble to him out there on the right flank.
Corbin, another one of those freshmen. He's listed at 5'9", 143. I have to say, I never thought I'd see the day when a Wheeler was playing a skill position. Many years of Ed Wheeler and I going around and around about linemen and backs. Now his grandson has come to the dark side. 2nd and 12. And off to Jansen, right up the gut. Good blocking and a nice run. The entire offensive line was there when Jansen went down. In other words, the push was that good.
Very good. Moundridge had a couple guys in the backfield, but they were past the play at the mesh point there with the quarterback and the fullback.
So with that nice gain, it brings up a 3rd and 2 on the Moundridge 35. Warriors shift around. Snelling now the tailback behind Jansen. Snyder from the shotgun or pistol. He pops it right over the middle, and that's hauled in. That'll be a 1st down for the Warriors.
Another little tight end pop pass to big Jake Baldwin there to keep the chains moving and keep the drive going.
You know, Baldwin, we mentioned before, I mean, he's a senior. He has been a JV quarterback for a couple of years. Good athlete. Had every reason to expect this would be his year at quarterback. And the Warriors are making a great use of his talent. And I'll tell you one thing about the Baldwin boys, there's no way they're going to have a bad attitude.
No, they're not going to have a bad attitude. They're not going to make many mental mistakes.
Right.
Very, very intelligent kids, and he could probably play any position on the field.
Well, and before the season's over, he might play a lot of them, yeah. Hand off to Jansen. And I think to some extent, Roger, you made the reference earlier that there's not going to be a lot of running room for him. I would, if I were Moundridge, and I know what we had last year and I know what we lost, I'd be keying on Jansen.
Well,
I'd be thinking, well, that's probably all they got.
Of the guys that were, you know, the offensive production for the most part last year, he's the one guy coming back that was really the big key contributor. Take him out. Not take him out, but take him out of the equation as far as key on him, pinch, and make other guys.
Make somebody else beat you.
Absolutely.
And I think that's what they're doing. Unfortunately, they're finding that maybe there are some other guys.
Yeah, there are.
2nd and 9 for the Warriors from the 24. That's a pitch to Snelling. And nicely defended. Loss on the play is going to make it 3rd, and we'll have to wait for him to get it spotted here. Looks like about 13. Kyle Palick on the sideline talking to the coaching staff before going back in with his defense. I've noticed that he's been doing a lot of communicating. I'm assuming he's kind of the quarterback on that defense, or I'm sorry, the offensive side. He's not the quarterback of that, but when he was on defense, he appeared to be quarterbacking the defense.
He's one of those guys, he's like having another coach on the field.
3rd and 13. Snyder keeps. Got Snelling trailing. He gets driven out of bounds on the far side. He's going to pick up about 5 to 6 yards on that. We'll have to, again, wait till they get it set.
This kind of opens the playbook up here for you on 4th down.
Yeah, 4th and 5.
You could run it with your big fullback. You could roll out the young quarterback. You can drop him straight back. Even throw one of those little pop passes that they've done a couple times already and done it very well.
Warriors again holding to that 8-0 lead, 3:14 to go in the half. Would love to get another score on the board here before they go in for the halftime. Snyder wants to pass. That's intended, and pulled in. Mason Peterson with a touchdown, and he's in the zone. A Kaysenson touchdown.
Great play action fake there from Jack Snyder. Pulls it up, had a guy right in his face, and delivered a strike down the field.
Right there.
Oh, he took a hit and put it right on the money. Great play.
Oh my! I am liking freshman to sophomore action here. He got some spirit on the sidelines there.
You know what really impresses me about that is just he stood in there, took one on the chin, and said, you know what, if I'm going to get hit in the mouth, I'm going to throw a touchdown while I do it.
Makes it 14-0. Warriors again going for 2. We'll probably see a lot of that this year. Snyder to pass. He gets it away out there. Snelling wisely picked it up because if somebody said it was a lateral, that could have been bad. But anyway, nice way to go out of the half. We got 3 minutes to go, but we can hold here and go in at 14-0. I'll take that. Moundridge has got a nice facility here. They got a nice rubberized track. Their stands are I have to admit, I'm going to brag a little bit. I always love seeing Warrior Stadium. You just don't see many small towns with a great big concrete stadium like that, but they have nice stands, and the restroom and facilities for the concession stand and stuff are very nice. They got a good setup.
Yep.
But they don't have numbers on the field, and that really bothers me.
If you're not going to give us numbers, give us yard marks. Give us the little hashes here on the side so we can see what's going on.
Well, at least that would be nice. Yeah, so I could say, okay, there's 5 yards in between there instead of saying, well, they're on the whatever.
They're on the 42 to 44 yard line.
Yeah, exactly right. Based on my failing eyesight. Warriors line up to kick off once again, this time with the wind at their back, although if it's like the kickoff we had before, I don't think it matters where the wind is.
Your back or not. It's just like playing golf in the wind. It doesn't matter if you scull it off the tee.
Peyton Heidebrack with the kick. Takes a bounce. It's going to be fielded, and they'll try the return, but there's nothing there. That was kind of what you want. If the ball bounces around like that, there's a chance somebody doesn't field it and you pick the thing up.
Yeah, you never know. It gets up and over at one level and lands short of the other level. Maybe you get a guy down there, he kicks it around for a second, and then you're in business again. You can put another touchdown on the board before the half. Then you're really going into the halftime strong. Yeah,
and you really send Moundridge in reeling. So I don't know, 3 minutes isn't very much time, but if the Warriors could get either a turnover or just a quick 3 and out.
Yeah, Warriors have, I believe, 2 timeouts left, so you could look to try to make a stand here, especially if you get an incomplete pass in these next couple downs to help you and almost give you an extra timeout.
And you are correct. We did call a timeout earlier. I had missed that. There's just nothing going in the middle of the formation. There's going to be maybe a very short gain there. And they're not even using or moving the ball marker, so it's 2nd down and 10. Shalene coming out of the defensive formation for the Warriors.
He's a big kid. Boy, it's glad to see him healthy this year.
Exactly. Coming around this side, and again, the Warriors just strung it out, and they didn't go to the sideline, but they just got a lot of horizontal movement, nothing vertical. Yeah, talking about Shalene being healthy, I couldn't help but notice. I mentioned Braden Fahey earlier as one of the seniors, and Braden was up in the press box with us a lot last year. He'd had an injury and never really got to suit up. And I was dismayed to see him on the sidelines in a wheelchair.
Yeah, he had, I believe, a hip procedure done earlier this week, and just one of those unfortunate things for a young man not be able to play, his senior year when I'm sure he was really looking forward to it.
3rd and 8 for Moundridge. And, man, that was taken down in the backfield. That was Jacob Baldwin, I think, again. Loss on the play, 4th down.
I'm a little surprised that the Warrior coaching staff isn't going to use one of the 2 remaining timeouts here.
I would have considered it.
You're going to get the ball back with about a minute to play, maybe a little under a minute. Maybe you hope for a good return here. You're going to get positive field position. You're going to have the ball hopefully around midfield, so maybe they don't think they need to use one now, and they can save 2 timeouts for the minute drill or whatever you want to call it.
And that's the question is, do you want to save the 30 seconds now, or do you want to save the timeouts and, use them when you need them? It's
and Moundridge is going to milk it here. I mean, they may even take the delay of game, and it looks like they're just going to wait it out, but they're going to use a timeout of their own. But they get it down to 49 seconds when that last play ended. There was about a minute and a half, minute and 20.
Minute 30, I think, yeah. The coach was standing there right by the official on the far sideline, and just like to see in the NFL when you tell me when it's about done.
As soon as this the back judge over here started the 5-second countdown, because no play clock's here.
Right.
As soon as he started doing the countdown, he let him do a couple arm waves, and then he was right there in the official's ear to call the timeout.
So the other side of the argument is, you could have had about 40 seconds that you don't have now.
Yeah.
But, of course, you're not going to get those 40 seconds back. But if you've got an extra timeout in your pocket and you're on the 2-yard line and the clock is ticking down, there's 4 seconds to go,
yeah,
you're going to be glad you had that timeout.
Well,
so
and it gives you that option, too. Say they, on first down, hit a big play down the field and they get inside the, 10-yard line. It gives you a chance to maybe try to run. Try to do a run play.
That's true.
Hit Jansen, on a little belly play right in the middle. And if he doesn't get to the end zone, you still have that timeout.
You got the timeout. Yep. Comes the punt.
Good kick.
Yeah, that's a really good kick. Snelling had kind of crept up. I don't think he expected much, and as it is, it's going to be Warrior first down on the 31-yard line.
Into a pretty stiff breeze. I was surprised. I think Moundridge coaching staff is going to be very happy with their punter in that situation to kind of bail them out of pretty bad field position there. I think it kind of changes some of the way you're going to call plays here.
Yeah, it changes the dynamics pretty. We've got a penalty. I missed that. There's a flag on the far sideline.
Oh, there it is.
And there was an illegal procedure penalty called apparently that we missed. So we'll see if maybe we can. Just getting ready to say that changed the dynamics of the whole end of this half.
The only bad thing about that on the Warrior side is you ran 10 seconds off the clock.
Yeah, the clock didn't stop. Yeah. We're down to 39 seconds to go. Their snaps, their long snaps are just like moonshots. As long as they take to get back and as quick as we are. There!
Oh,
We could block one and we could score! That's where I was going with that, Roger, is we got a chance to block that, and I get to scoop and score. Who recovered that? I didn't see. Did we already do the replay, Gene?
It was a big body, it looked like. I think this is just a shot in the dark. I saw 58 running off the field. That's Tyler Palak. Looked like he was the guy that came out of that with the ball.
32 seconds to go. We're on their 5-yard line. 14-0 Warrior lead. And we got a penalty. Snyder keeps. He's going to come up short, but we have a penalty from the.
Looks like a procedure penalty, illegal shift.
Illegal shift call.
Gets you to the 10-yard line. You got 26 seconds left. But again, we had the timeout debate a little while ago. You've got 2 in your pocket, so
you got 2, so that you can, like you said, you want to just hit the tight end on a 5-yard pass. And if he makes it to the 1, that's okay. Or you want to tuck it and run, do anything you want.
Yep.
Snyder hands off to Snelling. Snelling works his way in the middle of the field, exactly what we talked about. Warriors called timeout with 17.8 to go. And I think we're down, to the 5?
Snelling made a good spin move there right at the line of scrimmage to take something or to get something out of nothing.
I'm not sure what Gene was showing a replay of there.
It's a replay of the pregame warm-up.
The replay of our pregame show, yes.
It's for those folks that were sitting out in their car during pregame warm-ups. Here we go.
There it is.
Good spin move.
There's your spin move, yeah. And it is the 5-yard line, so it'll be 2nd and goal from the 5. We got 17.8 seconds to go, and the Warriors have 1 timeout left. We have had a couple of opportunities for scores that we have not capitalized on. Of course, I'm not complaining. I like the 14-0 lead, but you don't want to end the half down here without getting in the end
Well,
zone.
especially on a big change of possession. You get the block punt, gets you down there inside the 10-yard line, and to come away with nothing would be disappointing.
Yeah.
You know, we've still got some time left. We're going to be able to run a couple plays here.
Warriors shift people around. Snyder wants to throw corner of the end zone. Oh, nicely done. Broken up there. That was intended for number 9. Was that 9 out there?
I think that was 3, Jacob
3.
Baldwin.
That's Baldwin.
I like that idea. Get your big 6'3" senior in the corner of the end zone and give him a 50-50 ball and see if he can go make a play for you.
3rd and 5. That was just very well defended.
Opportunity here. You know, 3rd and 5, obviously 5 to go to get into the end zone. You could take a shot here with Adam Jansen in the middle. Give him the ball, see if he can pummel his way in there. You still got that last timeout sitting in your pocket.
From the shotgun, Snyder wants to throw again. Right across the middle, and that's Peterson. That's a touchdown. He's in the zone.
Excellent job there. Again, same connection we had on the previous touchdown drive. Schneider on the quick slant to Peterson. Hits him right in stride and gets in for a Warrior touchdown.
So as he slices across and catches that, pulls it in, and absolutely showing no case of sophomore nerves whatsoever.
No.
And Snyder, we've already remarked on, is certainly not scared to be back there as a freshman. Warriors go up 20-0. Two-point conversion attempt. Snyder keeps, tries to get around the outside. Will he have
There he
room? And he
goes.
does. He's in the zone. Well, we got 9.6 seconds, and the Warriors have a 22-0 lead in this ball game.
Good read there by the freshman, and he sees he can get to the far pylon and does an excellent job of turning it on and kicking it into that extra gear to pick up the conversion.
Roger, the shot that we've got on our monitor here, it appears lighter than it does on the field itself. I think it's really dark, especially down in that end of the field. I don't know if they've got some lights out or. Yeah, Gene says it's just that we've got good equipment, but.
You know, I'm looking up from us at these lights, and there's a couple out on this standard, and there's a couple out on the far standard. You know, that could have something to do with it. I don't really know.
No, you got me dizzy. I'm looking up. I'm going to
Don't fall off the scaffolding. Hold on to something while you look up. I don't.
Staring into the light, standing on the top of the scaffolding. That's a good plan. Can I hold something metal in the lightning too?
Don't talk about lightning. Not while we're up here.
Warriors with the kickoff.
We need to have one of our camera guys get a picture of the sunset out there.
It's
in the
pretty,
distance.
isn't it?
Let's get back to the kick. Squib.
Oh, off the man. That's a live ball. He picks it up. He gets brought down. And that's the end of the half. Well, let's go to our quarterly report, and I guess what we can say here, we haven't been on the sideline like Casey always is, Roger, but what I guess I would do would be to reiterate what we talked about before. The first half of the first game of the season, I am just shocked at how the freshmen and sophomores have performed. I'm not taking anything away from the kids that we expected to perform.
No, I think you have to be extremely pleased, both from obviously the fans in the stands, the coaches on the sideline, but I think the kids have to be pleased.
Yes.
To get out and to get off to such a good start. And yeah, we had the hiccups with a couple penalties here and there, but to be able to push through that and to have some success and to kind of taste it, especially early on,
right.
I think it sets the tone not just for this game, but possibly, you know, moving into the later weeks in the season and maybe getting into the postseason as well.
I think that's absolutely correct. You go into this game and we come out here and make a lot of mistakes, and the kids come away not sure they can handle varsity opposition, and it's going to affect you for a long time.
Yeah.
And at least it's going to make the job hard for the coaches to turn that around.
Yeah.
Now, we got a half to go. A lot of bad things could happen, but I think we've established that some kids have every right to feel like they belong on the varsity playing field.
I think so, and I think they've proved it thus far, and I think it's going to be, you know, a lot of the same moving forward with that young group that's been out, and you know, it's young kids at the skill positions too.
Yes.
You know, out there making plays in space, you know, catching balls, out, you know, with a chance to score a touchdown. You know, young kid, like you said, they could panic, drop it,
Absolutely,
and cough it up, and then you've got a kid under center that's delivering strikes with guys in his face, something you'd expect out of, and we saw it last year with Taylor Heiderbrecht running the show as a senior, and a kid that had a lot of reps. He'd stand in there and deliver a ball, get hit in the chest, and make the completion. But you have to be extremely pleased doing that as a freshman, as Jack
Right.
Schneider is.
Absolutely. Well, we'll call that it for our St. Luke Hospital Quarterly Report. We would invite you to pay attention to these words from our sponsors, and we'll be back with the second half.
And Marion Kiwanis Club, dedicated to providing service to children and local communities. Since 1923, Marion Kiwanis have worked for our community. Come join us. You can help. MCTV reminds you to support our sponsors. They make these broadcasts possible. Marion Pharmacy became a franchised Health Mart pharmacy in 1984. As a full-line pharmacy, we accept most all major insurance plans, including Medicare D plans for seniors. We have been offering flu shots for the past couple of years and will continue to do so in the future. They offer a full line of durable medical equipment for both rental and purchase. They also have a Kodak picture printing machine, a full line of Hallmark cards, giftware, and toys for tots. And Marion High School boosters, financially, emotionally, and in all ways possible, the MHS boosters support the students of Marion High in all of their activities. Contact the high school to join them and boost the Warriors. MCTV reminds you to support our sponsors. They make these broadcasts possible. Carlson's is a full-service grocery store, proudly serving the community for more than 20 years. They feature fresh meat and produce, an outstanding deli featuring daily specials and freshly smoked meats, and a bakery. They also offer propane exchange, DVD rental, and utility payments through Western Union. They can even take care of your catering needs. They have recently remodeled their interior, including new frozen section and bakery managers during the past year.
We are back and ready to start the second half. The Warriors kicking off. The Warriors will have the wind at their back in this third quarter. And a 22-point cushion to work with. Now, you don't want to see any lessening of intensity here in this second half, Raj.
No, you don't, and that's one thing I think with you got a lot of young kids playing. This game's far from over.
Boy, a lot of that back would not go down out there.
But that's, you know, one thing you may worry about with a young, we're not a young team per se. We've got a lot of young kids contributing. We've still got some veteran players that I think will keep the intensity up and keep them moving along at the same pace they had the first half. But that's one thing you may want to watch is just how the intensity of some of the younger players is as we get into the second half.
You make a good point, because I don't think the Kyle Palicks and the Seth Snellings and some of those other kids we've talked about, the Jacob Baldwins, are going to allow the kids to, you know, somehow check out thinking the game's won.
And if it does happen, it won't happen for very long, I don't believe.
Nice run coming right at you. Big gainer.
He almost got flagged for another one. That's.
But Stone did a nice job.
He pulled up. Brad Stone did the same thing on the far sideline, and he wasn't doing anything malicious in the first half, but it was one of those plays right at the boundary, and he, instead of pulling off like he just did, went through him, and, you know, he got the flag there, did a good job making the adjustment.
With that big gain, Moundridge has some momentum. 1st and 10 on the Warrior 38-yard line.
And Mike, these lights are not very good.
Thank you.
Our cameras are doing an excellent job of not really displaying that.
Yeah, it just, here's the, ball's on the ground. I think Moundridge got it.
And that's nothing against the facility or anything like that, but these lights are, I mean, you can see shadows on the field of the players, and it's
what surprises me, Raj, is normally when you see there's just a it's just a yellowy dull.
It's not a bright
illumination.
It's not a bright light.
And normally when you see that, you're at a field where someone's still got, wooden posts, but these are nice.
These are wooden posts.
Oh. Yes, they are. Man, from across the field, I was looking at the ones the other side. I thought they were metal. Okay, yeah. You see them places like this with wooden posts. Here's the pass. Oh, behind the receiver. Had that been hauled in, Roger, he had the angle cutting right across. That would have been a big gainer.
He did. He had a pretty big cushion from the defensive back there, and Peyton Heidebrecht, the outside linebacker, was working that direction, but he had some room there to make a man miss and make a big play.
3rd down and 7. That's a long 7 for the Wildcats. They got one man split wide left, everybody else in tight. 2 slots. One running back with the slot man in motion now. Hand off to that fullback, and he gallops up the middle of the field for the 1st down, but there's a flag in the backfield.
Flag in the backfield, and that's in the area of a hold.
Roger, we talk about the
chop block.
Aha, okay. We talk about the picture looking brighter than reality. You'd think, well, how could that be? But I was watching the PGA golf tournament this year, and they kept talking about how dark it was, and then they said, our cameras pull in more light than is really there. We're going to adjust it so you can see the way it actually is in reality, and boom, it was dark all of a sudden.
That was at the PGA Championship,
yes.
And they were playing until dark.
So there's a little bit of a payback for the long gainers the Warriors have had called back. And I'm not inferring, I don't mean when I say that anything that the officials did wrong, just fate.
Yes.
3rd and 24 for the Wildcats. Hand off again. This time they ride him down right at that line of scrimmage. He falls forward for a 3-4 yard gain, but it'll be 4th down and long.
4th down and long, and I know you're chasing 22, but I think you have to punt here.
Man, I tell you, it's going to be awful tough to go for 4th and 21. I know you're at midfield, but my goodness, Roger, if you don't get it, you could find yourself down 30 points.
In a hurry.
In a hurry.
I mean, especially with the way that the Warriors have thrown the ball down the field. Man, this is a surprising call.
Yeah, they are going for it. Pass play. It's caught. It's going to be short. Nice gain, but he's going to get back. He's going to be still 8 yards short of the 1st down. Warriors will take over.
You take away the block below the waist penalty, and obviously that negated a long run, so we wouldn't be in this situation anyway. But that's a great play if you're looking at a 4th and 8.
Yes.
You pick it up, you hit the quick hitter to the receiver like that. But on a 4th and 20, you're calling that play, thinking, all right, we're going to get the 8 to 10 yard completion, and he's going to break a tackle and go. Warriors did a good job in the open field of bringing him down and get the ball back.
So Warriors now on their own 36, 1st down. Wheeler split out wide in the right side. Schultz down here, down low. Hand off to Snelling. And Seth's going to get a couple. So we'll have 2nd down and 8 as Peterson brings the play in from the sideline. Warriors continue to run shifts out of that set. Jansen with a carry. He refuses to go down, and I think he got the 1st down with that last effort.
Mike, you mentioned before that play, the Warriors shifting from the original set that they line up in.
Yes.
You see it a lot on Saturdays, college football. You see it a lot on Sundays as well. Obviously, it's trickling down here, but I don't know that the Warriors have run a play from a set and not had some sort of shift or motion yet today. I can't think of one off the top of my head, and maybe I'm just not paying enough attention to stuff like that. But I've been watching the shifts and watching where guys are lined up and where they shift to. And it seems like every play there's something different. And watch now there.
No, I think it would have been great if they had just stayed right there. Snyder keeps. Had some pressure in the backfield. He gets a corner turned. That's a nice run.
Had a late flag
late
there.
flag. What was that?
I don't know if it was a face mask or an unnecessary roughness, unsportsmanlike, something like that. I don't really know. It came from the guy that was spotting the ball right near the tackle, so I'm not quite sure what it was.
It's about a 5-yard gain on the play. We'll see what the penalty's going to do. Yeah, we're not really in a position to. Gene's wanting the players to move off the sideline so we can.
There's some sort of personal foul, unnecessary roughness, something like that.
Yeah,
I didn't happen to see it, but
late hit or something. I think if it had been anything more, if it was a punch or something, we'd have seen a little bit more activity from the officials than that. So that gives the Warriors, of course, a first down and moves the ball down just outside the 30-yard line of the Wildcats. The Moundridge coach had walked pretty far out onto the field.
he wants, I think, an explanation.
Yeah, wants to know what happened.
And again, we didn't see it, and that's all the way across the field for him. I'm sure he wants an explanation, too.
Jay, can you get a shot over there, the officials, and they're too late. They already, whatever they said seemed to satisfy him. And Casey Case has made an appearance. Casey is here. We're glad to see him. Not very many Warrior games over the last 20-some years have taken place without Casey being present. All right, 1st and 10, Warriors. Snelling with the handoff. Right up the middle of the field. Seth Snelling is in the zone with a Casenson touchdown. He twists his ankle.
It looked like he came up a little gimpy there. Looks like a basic little lead play here. You got Jansen leading the way with a kick-out block, and Seth Snelling cutting right off his backside right up the middle of the field. And
Gene, let this run away.
He went almost untouched.
Just trying to see if was there a hole he stepped in out in the that's weird.
It looked like he might have stepped in something. He had
maybe he has a cramp. He cramped up.
I said there were going to be no cramps today.
You did. The time you said that, I thought, what a fool. So that's good. The last thing you'd want to do is have, because Seth, you know, you've got a little bit of that. And this is going to go way back to probably before you were born, but Jim Kick and Larry Zonka with the Miami Dolphins back in the Bob Greasy undefeated season days and so on.
That was before my time, but go on.
Bit. Well, they had.
But I'm a football historian a little bit. All right, go ahead.
Okay. They had. Bottom line is, this is not what they were called, but they were Thunder and Lightning in that they were the big, strong guy that barreled through the middle, and then you got the fast guy who runs away from people.
Recent, according to football media, was back USC had Reggie Bush, Lendell White. They were the Thunder and Lightning.
Oh, nicely done from Snyder.
Snyder to Peterson again.
Peterson again. My goodness. Those two are just becoming a tandem.
Oh, and he fumbled the snap.
And he stayed with the play, though, Roger.
Well, stayed with this play, and again, with a guy in his face, delivering a ball that it gives your guy an opportunity to make a play for you.
That puts the Warriors up 30-0. And anyway, that's the thing I would have hated to have lost Snelling here in the first game, because with he and Jansen, you've got that kind of that 1-2 punch.
Yeah, you got the guy, the bruiser, and then you've got the kind of, not a scat back by any means, but he's a
little more of a slasher. Yeah.
Shifty, can get to the second level in a hurry, and you like that combination, and I'd like to see that combination run into, the end of the season for these guys.
Yeah. I have, when we got here, we didn't know what we were going to do. We thought about trying to squeeze into the press box, but it's almost impossible with the equipment we have anymore to get in the press box the size of what Moundridge has, and only if we kicked all of them out would it work.
I don't know if that'd go over so well.
I don't think so. But so we built some scaffolding here, and I am just between Gene's work downstairs and the production part of it, and he really is. He's down below us now. And Jay Smith up here doing what Jay's done since 1963. And Danny with the close-up stuff. I just think we got a pretty good production going there. The only thing we need are some announcers. Oh. Well, the Warriors do a nice job of it. That had the makings or the look of a return for a touchdown. The Warriors kept their pursuit up and brought him down.
Peyton Heidebrecht, the kicker, they're doing a great job kind of being the safety valve, and he was there to turn the ball carrier back in just a little bit and let his buddies come down and pick him up and keep him out of the end zone.
It does, however, give Moundridge great field position here with 8:04 to go in the third quarter. They'll have the ball on the Warrior 33.
You know, one thing with that squib kick is your kickoff team gets down there and almost looked like they didn't have time to break down and get into their lane responsibilities, and then bam, the guy's past you.
Exactly. I agree. Handoff around the left side. Going to get the ball down. Did it pop out? Did the Warriors recover the fumble?
I think they're talking Palak
Okay.
put a helmet on that kid's chin strap and knocked it off. And I think they were just making a motion he has to leave the game for a play.
All right. Well, I saw that arm go out, and I thought they were nice gain. Is going to bring up 2nd and 4 from Moundridge. The ball now just outside the 25, about the 26-yard line. Knocked his chin strap off. That's a pretty good hit. Handoff again, coming this direction. Ran through a couple of tackles.
Oh, boy.
Nice job. Was that Bryce Schultz that came in there?
I think it was. Good job there coming out of his DB spot for some run support. He's there.
Bryce Schultz and 55. Palak, yeah. Palak's always around the big hits. Third down and 2. Need to come back to live action. Gene Winkler.
He likes that replay tool.
He was really liking that. He was having fun playing with that slow-mo. Gene's upset now. He came back, but they won't play.
He could have shown that replay 2 or 3 more times.
Well, the player's chin strap wouldn't hook. They had to have his teammates help him out. So 3rd and 2. Ball on the 25. Well, that's going to be close. You just have to see where they spot. Oh, we got a flag here coming in late from the defensive backfield. It's 4th down, so they did not pick up the first, at least not on the play itself.
Flag came in from one of the back judge, I think.
Penalties against, an illegal block penalty against Moundridge.
Wow.
And it would have been 4th and 1, and this deep, they probably would have gone for it. So you got to take this penalty.
Yeah, absolutely. They're going to be 4th and a yard or so there. That's going to be a no-brainer.
For me, Roger, you could look at this one of 2 ways. Either there are no-brainers or they're all no-brainers. Because I'm calling them without a brain. 3rd and 11. Oh, the ball's on the ground.
Down. Somebody's got it. They're trying to get up and score, but we're not in the NFL. Jacob Baldwin with the fumble recovery.
Baldwin wanted to get up and run with it. Hey, give it a shot. So that takes care of any scoring threat from the Wildcats, and the Warriors now have the ball. What yard line are we on? Is that the 34? Now see if that was out on the field written. I'd know that
we would know.
that's the 35-yard line there. Snyder with a handoff to, I thought that was Jansen.
Jansen.
Yeah, I thought it was Jansen,
bodies.
but the way he was running, I thought, well, no, is that Snelling? Because he was moving so quick. Nice run's going to pick up about 8. Yeah, closer to 9, really. We'll call it 2nd and 1.
Call it a long one.
Yeah, it's a long one, but it's a short 2. And off to Jansen again. He's got the first down, about 5 more.
I think we're going to see a lot of that here as we get a little deeper into the third quarter. Kind of Marion start to lean on him. Let the big back kind of come in there and just wear him out. You know, we talked about their roster on the Moundridge side is a little smaller than ours, and you know, depth and things like that may, at this point in the game, this is where they start to show up and really start to kind of rear their head.
And you also just keep the clock moving. You got a 30-point lead. You know, you do this, the clock doesn't stop like it does on an incomplete pass, and Snelling just lost his footing on that one. But anyway, the clock's still moving.
The clock is moving.
Several years ago, I mean many years ago, we were playing, oh my goodness, Rose Hill. And we were playing there, and we had a 28-0 lead at halftime, and a lightning storm moved in, and they ended up suspending the game, and we had to go back the next day and replay it, or not replay it, but play from halftime on. And it was the shortest half in the history of football because Coach Tiroff just handed the ball off, and we ended up winning 28-0. There's Jansen with a carry.
The bus ride down there probably took longer than the actual half of the game.
Absolutely, yeah. That'll make it.
Give him about 3rd and 8 or so.
Yeah, 3rd and roughly 8.
I know we want to keep the clock moving, but as well as we've shown that we can throw the ball, I think, you know, kind of 3rd and long here, I think you may see a ball get into the air.
Well, first downs keep the clock moving, too.
Absolutely.
You know?
They stop for a second.
Well, they do stop for a second, but then they start them again.
They do.
Oh, Snelling with the carry. There's a flag on the play. Snelling's going to have the first down. Let's see if it stands. I'm not optimistic.
We're going to get a hold, I believe. I didn't see what lineman we got it on. That referee threw that flag very confidently right towards the offensive line.
So that will be against the Warriors. You know, as we've kind of sung the praises of a lot of the younger people, I hope we've not been shy of giving credit to the veterans. I think we certainly have mentioned them as well. But not only are Snyder and Peterson and Wheeler and some of those folks, but boy, some of those young offensive and defensive linemen are performing just great. Snyder to pass. It's going long. The man's wide open if he can get there. Oh. Boy, that was a well-thrown ball. About one more step, and that's Baldwin. About one more step, and he's there.
He had his man beat.
Yeah, he had him beat like a drum.
He had him beat. Maybe a little more air underneath the throw, or
But again, you're talking a freshman kid in the first start in a varsity game.
And that wasn't a poorly thrown pass by any means.
No,
it's
not at all.
Little off the mark, and you know that's going to happen.
Warriors to punt. Snaps on the ground, nicely fielded. Nice punt. Drives them back and takes a great Warrior bounce. Don't let it go in the end zone, guys. Oh!
He tried to pick it up. I think the Warriors are going to have the football.
Warrior football! That was the dumbest thing. Why would he do that?
Bryce Schultz right down there. As a coach, I can't imagine what they're going to say to him, and he's hurt.
He's hurt. I'd be real hurt if I were.
I think I'd ask him to take me straight to the locker room.
I have seen players successfully have the situation where the ball's about to be blown dead. Tampa State Bank timeout here, injury timeout. Ball's about to be blown dead, and the defenders are gathering in to watch it just go dead, and then the guy snaps it up. Teammate of mine one time did that and ran all the way for touchdown. It can be done.
And you see it, but
Yeah.
more often than not, you're going to see what just happened.
Well,
Something bad is going to happen.
And that was even such a bad, because it wasn't like it was just snap it up and go.
Yep.
The guy like dove on it for
Yeah.
some stupid reason.
I'm not sure what the thought there was. I hope the young man's okay.
Absolutely.
He's being carried off the field right now. He's got, I believe, his right leg or something could have got pinned underneath him in that pile going for the football. But, not the wisest decision. And I'm sure, when they look at film, come Monday, they're definitely going to, just tell them to be a little smarter, especially when you're chasing 30-0. I know you want to make a play and try to help your team, but that's not the spot to do it when you're on your own 5-yard line.
I'm going to tell you, if I made that play, I would have a major injury. An injury that required me to be taken to the hospital and not see the coach till next game.
Well, I think here's a chance for Marion to really kind of put their foot on the neck of the Moundridge Wildcats. We'll see what the play call is here.
Ball on the 5-yard line. Hand off to the big back, Jansen. He's in the zone.
There he is.
That's a Case and Son touchdown. Adam Jansen with the carry. That makes it a 36-0 score. Gene just mentioned that in the line of paper they had Marion ranked 9th in the state. And I'm not trying to slap Gene down, but one of the most inaccurate things in the world.
Preseason football rankings.
Yes.
High school, college, they're all
based on what you did last year. Yeah. And you could have lost 42 people from your team, and they're going to still start you there.
Yep.
All right, Snyder from the shotgun. Jansen with the carry. No, Snyder carries again, takes it around that corner, and he's in the zone. Snyder did a nice job with the fake. He faked me out. He gets the 2 points. The Warriors go up 40-0. Now, did I understand the press box announcer to say we're going to a running clock now?
I think it's at 35-0 or a 35-point differential.
Margin.
Yeah.
This,
go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, just in the third quarter, that's probably okay. There's been times I've kind of criticized that rule simply because at 35 points, it's not that big a margin. I realize they're not going to come back and win, but it's an opportunity for the Marion normally to put in even younger players.
That was what I was getting ready to say, is it takes some opportunity away. Now, a lot of these younger kids out here, they're going to suit up on Monday and they're going to play JV.
Right.
And that's all well and good.
That's true.
But to get them, on a Friday night underneath the lights, even though the game's borderline out of hand.
Oh, that doesn't matter. Yeah.
It's still an opportunity to get you on the field, between the lines on a Friday night, and that's important for a kid in his development. I understand why the rule's in place, and I don't disagree with the rule, but that's one of the downsides to it.
Exactly. I guess my thing was just, to me, 35 is a little bit. I guess if you're on the short end of it, it doesn't seem like a little bit low.
Well,
but
and we run into it at the high school level for baseball. They have the run rules.
Right.
15 runs after 3 innings, 10 runs after 5. And while that's all well and good, and it saves you some pitching, especially towards the end of the season, it takes away from the development of some of your younger players that you can get in and get them some at-bats and things like that late in games.
There's the kickoff, and then we had a different kicker for the Warriors that time, and I apologize, I did not get that number. In this third quarter, our third quarter sponsors have been Heery Real Estate, Marion Kiwanis, and Marion Boosters.
Number 10, Austin Neufeld, is the one who came back to pick up the tee. I'm not sure if that's his job or if he was the one making the kick.
Normally we have, there's always been a freshman each game, different freshman every game, whose job is to run out and get the tee and bring it back.
But he was on the field and he went back to get the tee.
Well,
so
that's different. Yeah, that might be. All right, Moundridge now still trying to get something going on offense. And we're at 55 seconds to go, and we got a time in the third quarter, timeout called by Moundridge. This is a Tampa State Bank timeout. We should have a happy Warrior crowd here.
I think they're conserving their energy to stay warm.
I'm looking at the sidelines. I talked to Doug Schlien at halftime and took his hat off his head and told him I'd been hired to burn it. And he said that there's no way that hat could be bothering us because there's no way we could see it. And I wanted to prove him wrong by having Jay or Danny get a shot of it in the stands, but he's not there anymore. Do you see him, Jay?
He's on the top row in the middle.
Oh, yeah, right in the middle on the top row. If Danny or Jay can get, since we got a moment here. There it is,
Bing
right
bong.
there.
Busted.
We told him we could get him on.
Dun, 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 dun.
Is that not the worst hat you've ever seen?
He's trying to explain to the guy next to him that it's not, but it actually is.
We can go back to football action now. Thank you, Jay and Danny, whoever got that. Quarterback keeps, he pumps, continues to roll, gets the ball away. Incomplete pass, nicely defended there by Peterson. Stone also out there. We're not even going to get another play here, so that's going to be our. Let's go to our third quarterly report, sponsored by St. Luke Hospital.
Great place.
38-0 is our score. Warriors on top. Well, Roger, I don't know what more the beauty of having Casey do the quarterly reports is you got a different perspective on things. We've kind of said all we've got to say to some extent here. We appreciate St. Luke Hospital sponsoring our quarterly report where we bring you these wonderful, insightful comments.
They are so wonderful.
Well, let me take a moment to once again pat ourselves on the back. We continue, thanks to these fine sponsors, to try to refine the product, and we need Eagle Cable to work with us a little bit more. We would love to get Channel 20 as an HD channel, and there's some possibility of that happening in the not too distant future here. If we could do that, then we'd really have something to crow about. But we've got a trailer now. When we go down the road, all of our equipment's in an enclosed trailer. And there's a shot. We built scaffolding here, and that's I think that must be Danny getting a shot of us up there. That's our best side, the part you can't see.
You don't want that in HD.
But Danny and Jay on the cameras, and Gene with all of our. Maybe we could get. We got to take a sponsor break, so we'll be right back.
Hannaford Abstract and Title Company provides abstracts of title and title insurance for homeowners and mortgage lenders. They also provide real estate closings for your transactions. Why do you need title insurance? For most Americans, our home is the single largest financial investment we will ever make. Having a clear title is important to the sale and purchase of your home. Your title insurance policy is your assurance that the home you are buying is protected from any title problems now and down the road. Tampa State Bank is one of the few banks in Marion County still locally owned. We offer the full range of banking services: checking, savings, time deposits, consumer, commercial, and real estate loans, escrow services, credit and debit cards, internet banking, new touchscreen drive-up ATM, night depository, and safe deposit boxes. Our friendly, courteous officers and staff will continue to provide the excellent service to our customers in 2012 that they have been used to since 1901. Jerry Cady Agency is a full-line insurance agency specializing in crop and hail insurance. They also carry farm, home, auto, life, and annuities. Their goal is to continue to offer quality insurance products while maintaining our commitment to always providing the best service possible to each and every customer.
Welcome to Marion County Ace Hardware, located at 1228 Commercial in Marion. We have all your supplies for painting, lawns, pets, fishing supplies, and keys. We also have stock lawnmowers and parts with a large selection of Craftsman tools, and also don't forget the candy. We are open 7 days a week for your shopping convenience, even if you only need a nut or a bolt.
We are right back, and next chance you get, Jay, get a shot of Gene sitting down there with the NASA Space Controls. Moundridge, 2nd and 10 from their own 30. Hand off over the right side. Been some nice runs by Moundridge. They've just never been able to put anything together with consistency tonight.
Got a flag down.
Yep, flag right there by the tackle. The chain gang got all in a hurry and started to move a little prematurely there. Okay, and there's Gene. You can see Gene down there with the, I'm not sure that shot gives
The command center.
the command center. Yeah, I like that, the command center. Gene on his right to the box is all the sound systems and stuff, and he's got the monitors in front of him, and he's just doing magical things. And Jay almost fell off the scaffolding trying to get that shot. All right, that'll be a 1st and 10 for Moundridge, and a big gain on top of a nice run. Puts the ball out to the down to the Marion 39.
Jet sweep.
Come around this left side this time. Number 22, Noah Albin out there for the Warriors now.
I think you may see Coach Tieroff and the staff start to kind of funnel in some of the younger players and get them some opportunities here in the 4th quarter.
Albin's a sophomore. And this is number 5 coming in. That's Tyler Arocha. He's a sophomore. Coming around the left side again, running hard. Tackle there by 65. Dylan Carpenter. 1st and 10 at the Warrior 35. I'm sorry, couldn't be the 35. It started on the 39. That's what they had on the scoreboard. They just hadn't switched it yet. 1st and 10 at the 27-yard line. Roger, they're just kind of running left, running right.
They are, and you know, obviously we've got some younger players in the game getting some experience, and you want to get those kids experience, but you also know that the players and coaches, you like seeing a goose egg on the other side.
Absolutely
and that
right.
Defense, you know, every defense you play, they're going to be proud, and they're going to want to keep that 0 on the board for as long as possible. So now it's up to some of the younger guys to kind of hold on to what the starters did early in the game.
Absolutely right.
Keep the shutout going.
Yeah, if you're the guys that were out there for that first 3 quarters, you want that 0 to stand.
Absolutely.
Another handoff. That time kind of right up the middle. Gain of about, we'll wait for him to make the move here. Yeah, gain of 5, be 2nd and 5. Ball spotted right about the Marion 5-yard line. On the right side.
Pretty close to the end zone. I think he's just a little bit short.
Waiting for a signal, and there is no signal, so. Clock continues to move, and we're in this 4th quarter, and the Marion County Ace Hardware was a new sponsor for the Warriors, and our 4th quarter sponsors are Carlson's Grocery, Hannaford Abstract, Marion County Ace Hardware. I don't know if we've run through some of our, I know we've done like timeouts and touchdowns and whatever, but Jerry Cady Insurance has been a great sponsor for us for a long, long time. And they basically are our broadcast area sponsors. So this tower that we're broadcasting from tonight is the Jerry Cady Insurance broadcast area. I prefer the one in Marion.
I do, the booth,
the booth.
Not the tower. I prefer the Jerry Cady Insurance booth.
And you see the Warrior sponsors on the screen: Marion Auto Supply, Gambino's Pizza, Edward Jones Investments, and HRK Variety. First and goal from the 2-yard line for the Wildcats. Be quite a task for this young group of Warriors out there to keep them out of the end zone at this point.
That's a good
That's
start.
a great start. I'm not sure part of that tackle wasn't made by the blocker, but
Looks like a loss of 1 or 2 on the play.
and they're going to give him quite a lot of forward progress, so it'll be a second and goal from the 2. Warriors have run a lot of different people out there. Size mismatch over here, but I doubt they're throwing the ball. Handoff right up the gut. He's in the zone. So the Wildcats get on the scoreboard. Makes it 38-6 here with 5:25 to go in the ball game. That was Deshaun Fife. We had mentioned him at the beginning of the game as being their best back and their biggest offensive threat. And he does seem to be a pretty good back, but they've just never got any kind of rhythm going tonight.
No, they never really got into sync offensively. It just wasn't their night. The Marion defense through the first, obviously 3.5 quarters or so played, exceptionally. Didn't give up many big plays and not really many opportunities.
Penalty or the
extra point was good, but we're going to try it again.
Whistle blew before the kick, and then a penalty flag came out. Yeah, Roger, at one point you were making a real good point in the first quarter, I think it was first quarter, maybe early second quarter, about the fact that Moundridge was not having any luck, particularly running the ball. And they definitely weren't having any luck with just a drop back, set up, and pass it. But when they rolled the guy, that there were some things happening. And as you talked, I'm thinking, and I think you even made this point, if they continue to roll him and then work the running plays in, suddenly you got a little something going. And I'm thinking, that could get a little hairy. It just never happened.
It never materialized, no. The thought was there. Obviously, they still tried a couple rollouts from time to time, but they just never really got into sync with their plan.
That time the kick is good again, and there's no penalties, so 38-7 score. All right, Coach Schroeder, you going to onside kick?
It's one of those things in a game like this. You're chasing 31 with 4.5 minutes to play in a running clock. If you attempt the onside kick here, you're almost inviting the Warriors to be a little.
Quit bouncing. You're bothering our cameraman.
I'm a little chilly. Sorry. You're almost inviting the Warriors to maybe try to put some more points on the board. And I don't think that it would happen, but if you try the onside kick, you're kind of inviting that, I think.
Yeah, I think that's exactly right. You better play it straight up here. I mean, I get it. I understand the onside kick, philosophy in certain situations, but the odds of getting 6 of them or whatever it would take here are pretty slim.
If this was a 38-27 game, obviously it'd be a lot tighter. The clock wouldn't be running. Then I could see it with 4 minutes left.
Right.
But even then, it'd be a little bit of a stretch.
Warriors definitely have a much different group on the field right now. Brad Stone is deep in the middle to return this kick for the Warriors.
Corbin Wheeler and Tyler Arocha also back deep.
They all look so tiny. And that's not putting the kids down. It's just compared to what you normally see.
Yeah.
It's kind of getting slow, getting set up here to kick the ball.
They are. The clock is still moving.
Yeah, Gene makes the point that we can't score if they have the ball, but they don't get their junior varsity doesn't get to play if the time runs out either. And that is an onside kick, Roger. They kicked it out of bounds.
Goes out of bounds. You're going to get an illegal procedure penalty on the kick, and Marion's going to take over right about midfield. And I think you're going to see a young group of Warriors out there running their plays. I don't think we're taking shots down the field or anything, but you're going to give them an opportunity to create something here.
Let's see, we've got, is Snyder still in at quarterback? I think he is. Yes. No,
I think you're gonna
it's Corbin Wheeler.
Corbin Wheeler's going to take over at quarterback.
Another freshman, Corbin, who has been in there on some plays, but not at quarterback, obviously.
He had the ping pong catch down in the end zone for the 2-point conversion early in the first quarter.
Now comes in the quarterback position.
I think we had a few too many on the field, and Moundridge called a timeout.
Thank you, Moundridge.
Yeah.
We got 2 minutes and 3 seconds to go, and I'm not even going to write it down.
We had guys running off the field. They're calling a timeout. It's young kids getting experience.
Well, the thing, we only got a couple minutes, and it's going to be a fast 2 minutes, because even if we go out of bounds, the clock won't stop. But, yeah, I want to see Corbin and the rest of these even younger guys. And sometimes you may not be younger in terms of chronologically, you may be a sophomore. But if you haven't been playing varsity and now here's you getting in there, I want to see how you do.
Yep,
because you're going to be playing in the, if not later this year, next year for sure.
Yep.
I look down the sideline here. I see Nathan Sear. Did you lose me? No, I think we're okay. See Nathan Sear talking to Braden Fahey down on the sideline. We mentioned that Braden's down there in a wheelchair, and I don't know. That's just kind of nice to see. Well, now we've got another one of his teammates, a couple of them coming over and talking to him. All right, here we go. Wheeler keeps. And he falls forward for a nice gain. He's going to pick up about 5 yards.
Yep. Good positive play there.
The Warriors throw in about 5 subs.
They're going to cycle them in and out here, and they're going to try to get off as many plays in 2 minutes as they can.
Number 98 comes into the game. I don't even have a 98 on my
I don't have a 98 either.
15 in the game is Remington Putter. 68 in the ball game for the Warriors. I don't have a 68. Second and a short 5. Wheeler keeps again. Wheeler's got the first down.
Another good positive play by another young quarterback.
Coming down to just about a minute to play as they move the chains. Line of scrimmage is about the 38-yard line. I'm just evil enough, I'd love to see the kids break one and get that touchdown back. Whoop.
Oh, right off his face mask.
Yeah. I think Morgan looked away there just as the ball was hiked.
Maybe time here to get one more play in for the young offense on the field. Get down under 30 to play.
56, Daniel Hinton just sprinted out there. Number 10, Austin Neufeld, little brother of Tyler. 2nd and 11. Probably the last play of the ball game. That's a handoff. That went to number 2.
Peyton Heidebrad.
Yeah. Peyton.
Good positive play to end the game.
And that's going to be the end of the game, and this will be the St. Luke Hospital Quarterly Reports after these words from our sponsors.
By Triple R Hauling, your hauling expert. Give them a call at 382-7802 and get things moving. Triple R Hauling. Heary Real Estate is a full-service real estate agency specializing in residential real estate in the Marion County area. Heary Real Estate lists and sells the majority of real estate in the immediate Marion area. In fact, they sell the majority of Marion real estate listed by other companies as well. They also serve the surrounding communities in the county, including Marion County Lake, Hillsborough, Peabody, Lincolnville, and Florence. Case & Son Insurance is the oldest continuous business in Marion County and may be the oldest continuous family-run business in the state. The current owner is the 5th generation of the Case family to run the business, and there's never been any ownership outside the Case family. They are an independent agent representing many companies and offer a full line of property casualty insurance, including home, auto, farm, business, and life. They also specialize in bonds. Eagle Communications, an employee-owned Kansas company offering internet, telephone, and cable television services. Eagle is the presenting sponsor of all MCTV broadcasts. Eagle Communications, our community connected.
All right, our Case and not Case and Son. That was a touchdown. Our St. Luke Hospital quarterly report. Our final score, 38-7. They've already turned off the scoreboard.
Well.
So there's no opportunity to look back
I
up
hope they
there.
keep the lights on for us while we tear down.
Oh man, we've had that happen.
Oh.
Yeah, don't even say that. Well, talk about something. It's a quarterly report.
All in all, for the first time out in the 2014 season, you're starting a freshman quarterback. You got plenty of other young kids. I thought they played tremendously well. I thought the kids that we expected to play well did exactly what they were supposed to do. Played hard for the 3 quarters they were in there, did what they were supposed to do, and gave support to some of those younger kids that were getting their first taste of everything. Obviously, some things to fix and some things to work on. Had a couple penalties, things like that, a couple missed assignments, but all in all, a very positive evening for the Warrior team, and off to a 1-0 start and moving in the right direction. And I think this team's going to continue to improve week to week as these kids get more reps.
Roger, one thing I think I liked, I mean, you can go overboard with this, but for the most part, the penalties were penalties of aggression,
yes,
not penalties of just, brain dead or whatever.
No, it wasn't. I mean, penalties are penalties, and they're going to cost you yards, and that's all well and good, but it wasn't a bunch of false start penalties or jumping off sides on the defensive line. It was stuff. We had to play unnecessary roughness on one of our DBs early in the game, but that's a play where he's finishing a play hard. He's not going out of his way maliciously trying to take a guy's head off. He's playing hard. He's playing right to the whistle, which is what you want, and he happened to get dinged for it. It's easier to reel him back a little bit than to try to speed him up to make that play.
Exactly.
So I think the coaches have to be happy with the way the first game turned out tonight.
Well, I am happy with the way it turned out for us. We avoided any moisture. We've had a great opening game victory. Saw great performances from our younger players, and I really think our team, other than the announcing, and the coach,
we are the weakest link.
The analyst was pretty good. But in any event, this is Mike Powers for Roger Schroeder, for Jay Smith, for Danny Maddox, and the big dog Gene Winkler saying, good night, Mr. and Mrs. Warrior fan. Good night, Red. Good night, Kevin. Good night, Gabby Gabbard, wherever you are.